In 2008, I had an ovarian cyst, which was the size of a cantaloupe, rupture. It caused sepsis and organ failure. I had emergency surgery to remove 700 milliliters or 24 ounces of fluid, which had leaked from the ruptured cyst. While I was recovering from surgery, I was told the ovarian cyst was a chocolate cyst. When I went to a gynecologist after surgery, the doctor mentioned I had endometriosis. I was confused by this. How did the physician know I had endometriosis? Was this a condition I should be concerned about? The doctor provided little information. I was in a significant amount of pain after surgery. I was worried there was something wrong. The gynecologist prescribed birth control. She said it would get rid of my pain. The exact opposite was true. The pelvic pain increased in intensity. I started bleeding daily. My menstrual cycles were excruciatingly painful. My periods were very heavy. I would get dizzy, lose my balance, and sometimes pass out. I complained to my physician about the worsening of my symptoms. She suggested trying different birth control pills. I declined. I was absolutely defeated. There was nothing which could be done. I decided I must be imagining everything. Periods are painful, and everyone has heavy bleeding. I stopped going to the gynecologist. When I was 12 years old, I had my first menstrual cycle. I remember it very clearly. My abdomen swelled up in size. It felt as though I'd eaten a large watermelon. I was sick to my stomach. The pain felt as though someone was trying to rip my lady parts to pieces. I had terrible diarrhea, and thus began my monthly reminder of womanhood. Every month, I would become extremely nauseous. I would sometimes throw up. The pain would cripple me. I would lay in bed and try not to move. I was told to take ibuprofen for the pain. It usually did nothing for me. Furthermore, I would often throw up the pills. As the years passed, I bled more and more. I planned my life around my menstrual cycle. When my health did a dramatic nosedive after having emergency surgery for my ruptured ovarian cyst in 2008, I did everything I could to avoid having procedures or going to the emergency department during my monthly cycle. I did not want to have to deal with having heavy bleeding and being in excruciating pain while away from home. This worked most of the time. However, there was one hospitalization in which I was admitted during my monthly reminder of womanhood. I had a severe pancreatitis attack. I was given fentanyl for pain. The medicine relieved my pancreas pain. However, the pelvic pain from my menstrual cycle remained. I was flabbergasted. I knew my pain was bad, but I was shocked that the fentanyl did nothing for my pelvic pain. I began wondering if my pelvic pain was normal. My doctors had always insisted ibuprofen would get rid of the pain, but now, even with using one of the strongest pain medicines available, my pain continued to cripple me. In February of 2022, I developed a bowel obstruction. I vomited about 10 times. I had horrible pain trying to urinate. I had bad pain on my lower right side of my abdomen. After fighting through this for several days, I broke down and went to the emergency department. I was devastated to find out I had an ovarian cyst, which was most likely a chocolate cyst. I was asked by the doctor at the hospital about my medical history. I mentioned I had had a previous chocolate cyst. Suddenly, I was again told I had endometriosis. I decided at that moment I should research what endometriosis is. During my time in the emergency department, the ovarian cyst moved and the bowel obstruction cleared. I was sent home and told to follow up with an obstetrician, gynecologist, or OBGYN for short. When I saw the OBGYN, even though the cyst was causing a lot of pain, the doctor was not concerned. The cyst was only 5 centimeters. He said, "Let's wait and see if it goes away." After my appointment, I began researching the medical condition, endometriosis. I signed up for a Facebook group called Nancy's Nook. I found out the symptoms I was having during my menstrual cycle were not normal. I also discovered a chocolate cyst is also called an endometrioma. Endometriomas are caused by the medical condition endometriosis. Furthermore, the presence of an endometrioma usually indicates advanced disease. It was very likely I have stage 4 endometriosis. This is the most severe form of the disease. I found an endometriosis specialist about 400 miles away from me. I scheduled an appointment. When I saw the doctor, my ovarian cyst was now 9 centimeters. She was alarmed. She was concerned the cyst was going to rupture. She contacted a gynecologic oncologist to do surgery. I was sent to the emergency department at the hospital. When in the emergency department, I spoke with a gynecologist. He asked me about my menstrual cycle. He was flabbergasted at the amount of bleeding I have. Blood work was done, which indicated I was anemic. I was told this was from all the blood I lose during my monthly cycles. Next, I had a consult with a gynecologic oncologist. She told me she would only remove my ovarian cyst. If there was any other endometriosis present in my pelvic cavity, she would leave it alone. I was concerned by this. In addition to having pain on my right side from my ovarian cyst, I was also having pain on my left side. I knew there was something wrong on my left side. But how could I tell the surgeon I did not want her to do the surgery? I began praying to God for this surgery to not work out. And praise be to God, the surgery did not happen. I had an MRI done on a Saturday morning. There was no radiologist to read the scan until Monday. The hospital was extremely full. They said I could not stay hospitalized during this time. I was medically stable. I needed to go home. When I got home, I was able to obtain a copy of my MRI report. It stated, in addition to having a 9-centimeter ovarian cyst on my right side, my left fallopian tube was dilated with blood. This was most likely due to endometriosis. I praise God the surgery with the gynecologic oncologist did not work out. She would have not removed the left fallopian tube. After the surgery, I would have remained very ill with left-sided pain and would have needed an additional surgery to remove the fallopian tube. I then began another search for an endometriosis doctor. I found a doctor almost 400 miles away. I called for an appointment. The doctor was booked out for many months, but I could see the nurse practitioner. At my appointment, the nurse practitioner was alarmed I had a 9-centimeter ovarian cyst. The MRI report was not good. She said I needed surgery immediately. I was able to schedule an appointment to see the doctor in 3 weeks. At my appointment with the doctor, I was shocked by what the doctor said. He told me if I had an endometrioma in 2008, it is very likely my pelvic cavity is covered in endometriosis. I would need a very extensive surgery. When I tried to set up the surgery, the next available surgery time was in 10 weeks. I made the appointment. During this time, my cyst continued to grow. It was now 13 centimeters. The pain was out of this world awful. I called the surgeon's office and pleaded for a faster surgery date. I was able to have surgery 2 weeks after having my appointment with the physician. After surgery, the doctor told me my pelvic cavity was covered in stage 4 endometriosis. My ovarian cyst was 14 centimeters in diameter. I no longer had my left ovary. My left fallopian tube was a disaster. It was removed. The surgeon thought he was able to get rid of about 97% of the endometriosis. After surgery, I thought I was done with endometriosis, but I was wrong. I was in extreme pain following the procedure. The pain did lessen in intensity, but 1 month after having surgery, the pain started increasing. I was very concerned. The surgeon assured me I was still having pain from surgery. I wanted to believe the doctor, but the pain kept getting worse and worse. 3 months later, I woke up in severe pain. When I sat up, the pain made me scream. I went to the emergency department. It was discovered I had a 5-centimeter chocolate ovarian cyst rupture. My endometriosis was back. I was absolutely devastated by this news. The surgery I had hoped and prayed would get rid of my endometriosis did not eliminate the problem. Furthermore, my monthly reminderhoods of womanhood are more severe. The bleeding is about 4 times worse. Instead of needing to change a tampon once every 20 minutes, I now need to change it once every 5 minutes. The blood clots I had, which were the size of a lime, are now the size of a small apple. I have a very hard time going to sleep during my periods because if I fall asleep, I will wake up in a pool of blood. For the moment, I have decided to not get any more treatment for endometriosis. I will just patiently wait for menopause. Hopefully, in menopause, my endometriosis will improve. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye-bye!